This beautiful bungalow in Penang is allegedly the most expensive house in the state and was once owned by the richest man in Penang until a mysterious tragedy happened that remains unsolved to this day. This bungalow is known as the Boon Siew Villa. Located in Tanjung Bunga in Penang, the bungalow sits by the seashore of northern Penang facing the beautiful Straits of Malacca. The building itself isn't very large and has a very classic British colonial and traditional Chinese design elements to it, surrounding by a very large land and steps that lead directly to the ocean. It has spacious halls, verandas, and intricately carved wooden panels and screens. While it looks beautiful, it is known as one of the darkest historical places in Penang, which some even believe it to be haunted. The owner of this bungalow goes by the name Tansri Boon Siew, a man so famous that most Penangites, if not the entire Malaysia, would know if you mention his name. He was also known for his alias Mr. Honda, as he established a strong presence for Honda motorcycles in Malaysia through his company Boon Siew Group. He played a crucial role in popularizing motorcycles as a mode of transportation, leaving a lasting legacy in the country. However, this video isn't so much about Boon Siew himself, but more about his son Loh Kah King. He was involved mostly with his father's business in the automotive industry by overseeing the Boon Siew Group. The Boon Siew Villa itself was a private residence for Mr. Boon Siew himself and for his family. It was a testament to his success and a stature in Penang society at that time. It was a symbol of the Chinese Malaysian community's contributions to Penang's development, and it reflected the wealth and influence of its original owner and his family, until a tragedy happened. On the 25th of February 1987, Boon Siew's adopted son Loh Kah King was found lifeless on the bedroom floor of that villa. According to the news articles that were handed out the next day, Mr. Loh Kah King, 39, was found on the floor of his bedroom with his legs tucked behind his back. His hands were tied with telephone wires while more wires were coiled around his neck. And the police concluded that he was killed sometime after 9:45 p.m. and early morning the next day. The newspaper continued, Mr. Loh, his wife Shirley Yap, his brother-in-law Jeffrey Yap, and a bodyguard returned to the Boon Siew Villa after dinner at about 9:45 p.m. on Tuesday. Mr. Yap then sent Shirley to the airport for a flight to Kuala Lumpur. Mr. Yap returned later to spend the night at the bungalow and left for work at 9:30 a.m. When he did not meet Mr. Loh at his office, he called the bungalow. When there was no response, Mr. Yap went back to check at about 11 a.m. He knocked on Mr. Loh's room, and when there was no answer, forced open the door to find Mr. Loh. The autopsy report concluded that Mr. Loh had passed due to asphyxia, which is a term used when the body is deprived of oxygen, leading to suffocation. It also showed that he had consumed alcohol during the dinner he attended prior to his death. According to the newspaper, police believe that Kah King could have suffocated either due to strangulation or hanging, and that the police did not rule out murder. Boon Siew did not believe his son had offed himself by hanging and was very certain that this was murder. Following the event of the murder, Jeffrey Yap was detained but was later released shortly after. This case was taken to court, and in court, Jeffrey claimed that 2 police officers had tampered with the body at the scene of the tragedy. Yet Boon Siew had disagreed and did not believe this happened. But one thing that seemed suspicious was on how a friend of the deceased, Dr. Godfrey Gay, who was there before the police came, had suggested to not inform the police on the reason that it would, quote, bring shame on the family, and instead make it look like he from illness instead. Of course, that didn't happen, and the police came later anyway. Many people believe that Kah King had really offed himself, as it was known in the family that he suffered marital problems. They were certain it had nothing to do with money, as he was earning about 600 to 700,000 ringgit a year, including bonus and dividend, but rather that his wife was unhappy that he had spent more time working and less time with her, especially since he would have meetings with associates almost every night, and that 6 months before his passing, they were in such a bad place that Boon Siew said if not for their 2 children, he would have ended their marriage. Boon Siew also claimed that his son had told him that his wife was having an affair with another man, of which he overheard from a telephone conversation she had. As time passed and no progress seemed to happen in the investigation, Boon Siew had set out a 500,000 ringgit reward for anyone with information about his adopted son's tragic events. Even so, the case remains unsolved till this day. Boon Siew had passed away on the 16th of February in 1996 at the age of 79, creating a legacy in Malaysia and also going through one of the life's hardest events, losing a child. According to PenangPropertyTalk.com, a post was shared on their website in April 2023 claiming that the property had been sold, and the amount that it was sold for had been dubbed it the most expensive building in Penang, that went for a price of 25 million ringgit for 48,373 square square feet. With another post that was shared 5 months later in September 2023 of talks that developer Instant Icon Sendirian Berhad are looking to build a condominium on that land. However, as of today, the building still remains completely intact and untouched. With such a tragic backstory to this iconic place in Penang, it's sad to think that it would be demolished for condominiums. I do hope that it may be turned into a heritage site, as it does hold a very strong history of Penang, both the ups and downs of Boon Siew's life and legacy. Apart from its dark side, the Buu Villa looks absolutely stunning, almost dreamy when you look at it. So if you enjoyed this video, do subscribe to my channel, as it does help me create more content like this for you. Please leave a like and write a comment down on what you feel when you look at this majestic building. Tell me if you think this place is haunted and if you think it should be demolished. I would love to hear all of your opinions. This is Defies, and this concludes the end of the Buu Villa story. I hope you enjoyed this deep historical adventure with me. To many more in the future. Until next time, may your adventures be filled with discovery and enlightenment. This is Defies.